Welcome back to the channel. We are jumping right back into the Dusty Ultimate Adventure OBS project. If you're new to the channel, that is my 1994 Ford Bronco. So far, we've reconditioned the frame. We've got a new engine. We've done the Desolate Motorsports complete steering upgrade, Desolate Motorsports Stage 2 4-inch suspension system. We've done wheels, tires. Now in this video, I'm going to be doing the Desolate Motorsports Trailrunner rear suspension system on the back of the Bronco, which essentially is just a set of leaf springs, 2 shocks, a set of shackles, and then we're also going to throw on the Desolate Motorsports transfer case skid plate in this video. So it should be a quick one, but you know, obviously we're going to wrap up the phase 1 of the suspension system with the bolt-on front, and then now we're going to wrap up the back. After that, the next video, we're gonna fire this thing up and we're gonna go rip it around. So let's jump right into this. First off, I'm going to get the truck off the ground, pull the wheels and tires off of it, pull the factory leaf springs off. The shocks are already out of the truck, and then we'll just rehang these new parts, set it back down and kind of see what it looks like and how it sits. Right now you can see it's a little low in the back compared to the front because the front's got new suspension, the rear is all stock. So let's jump into the install of this new stuff and have some fun in the process. So what I'm gonna do is, rather than doing this on the lift, the Bronco frame, well, the Bronco in general is just really, really short. So now with the radius arms, just lifting it up. Anyway, I'm gonna do it on jack stands and floor jacks. So now when you do the Trailrunner rear kit, it does come with the rear leaf spring hangers, which is right here on either side. The factory ones on the OBS trucks are super flimsy, just lightweight material. I already switched them out. So when you do these, the factory rear leaf hangers are riveted on. So you will have to get a die grinder, air hammer, your choice of tool to get them off. So I've already done that process, and just basically they bolt right back into the factory rivet holes. So that's obviously pretty straightforward. Now if you've got your bumper on here, these are a little tight to get to, just so keep that in mind. To have a little access, same thing. The other one is behind the frame here, behind the gas tank. So and then that one here, it's really tight to get to. So just keep that in mind. This bottom bolt is a little challenging to get to if you got your gas tank in and the bumper on. Anyway, this bolt is already loose. Same thing with the one at the front. I had the suspension just kind of like loosely set in there. Really simple process. Desolate gives you these rear fabricated CAD design shackles, and then of course the hangers. So I've already fastened the shackles to the new leaf springs. And you can kind of see the springs that come with the kit. There's already a tapered block to keep the pinion at the correct angle. So the Trailrunner rear leaf springs, it's the main leaf, and then 2, 3, 4, 5, and then an overload, versus the factory one, which is 1, 2, 3, 4, also 5, but it's not an overload. So essentially those 5 leaves are going to be a little softer rate, and then if we get into some heavier load, that's when that one comes into play. So this theoretically should give us a lot smoother ride and better performance when the suspension is kind of aggressively cycling off-road. So real simple process. Going to pop this bolt, pop that bottom bolt, the 4 U-bolts, and then just slide this whole assembly out, slide the new assembly in, bolt it all back down, and then hang the new shocks. So pretty simple process. So we're gonna go ahead and get started. Okay. side is done. Except for the shock. Well, that took a whole 15 minutes, if that. So, new leaf spring in. It would be ideal to replace the U-bolts. Just to give you a little tech tip, U-bolts do stretch when they get fastened down. So, yeah, that will be replaced here in the future. I'll put a new set of leaf, probably 5/8 U-bolts, bigger U-bolts. Anyway, shock is in. Leaf spring is hung there. And then, of course, the Desolate Motorsports shackle hanger. All of this is all tightened and secure. Ready to put this wheel back on, move the other side, and wrap that up. And then we'll go to the transfer case skid plate. Super easy process doing the back stuff back here. And the next thing I will do is this main brake line will be replaced with the Desolate stainless one that comes with the kit. So I'll put that on, which again will allow the rear axle to cycle up and down at a lot more travel than the factory one did, so that way I don't break a brake line. I've already got the passenger side spring out. I got the new Desolate one just kind of loosely hung in there. All right. Boom. Boom. Put the tires back on. The rear suspension is in the Bronco. I've rolled it back so the front end can kind of settle a little bit to kind of see how it's going to sit. It is higher in the rear. Right off the bat, that's the first thing I'm noticing versus the front. Keep in mind, this is a brand new leaf spring and the top's not on. This transfer case is not in the truck yet, neither is the rear bumper. So that'll add a little bit of weight, which will bring it down a little bit. I don't think it's going to bring it level, but I'm hoping after the spring breaks in, that will sort of help that. And if I tow a trailer, the truck should ride pretty level. Or I might pull a leaf out of that pack. I don't know yet. But anyway, that's the way it looks right out of the gates after installing the rear suspension. Again, the rear Trailrunner Desolate stuff, literally just leaf spring, shackle, hanger, shocks. So 4 components, and that dials the back end. Oh, and the brake lines, stainless steel brake lines. And then the next thing I'm going to do real quick is put it back on the lift. And for demonstration purposes, I'm going to install the transfer case skid plate, the one that came on Dusty to begin with. I'll show you that. It is a very lightweight, flimsy, just a piece of sheet metal, really. So, you know, if you took a good hit, that is just not going to do nothing. So old transfer case skid plates versus new Desolate CAD designed DOM skid plate with 1/4 inch steel here and, you know, bracketry. So there's no way that's going to buckle if I set it on something. And then these are the rear, or this, not these, this is the rear stainless brake line. It comes with the kit too. I'm about to install that. That is so easy. I mean, it's literally just replacing the factory one here with that one little bit. That's it. So yeah, so let me go ahead and put it on the lift. We'll go ahead and bolt that transfer case skid plate up, see, so you guys can see what that looks like. All right, so now I'm gonna go ahead and hang the transfer case skid plate, which, you know, goes right across, you know, transfer case, obviously. So let me go get that thing, which is right here. Getting ready to hang this transfer case skid plate. We are gonna have to drill 2 holes in the bottom of the frame. There's already factory holes here. So 1, 2, 3, 4, counting from the front back. So 1, 2, 3, the 3rd hole we're gonna enlarge, because that'll be our first hole to mount this thing down. So I'm gonna go ahead and enlarge this, hang the skid plate, mark the other 2 holes, pull it back down, drill the holes, and then get it fastened back up. And there it is, Desolate Motorsports transfer case skid plate, mounted and fastened. Pretty simple. You just got to enlarge 2 of the factory frame holes and then drill 4 holes in the bottom of the frame, bolt it up, and all done. Look at all that gold hardware. Oh my God, that looks so freaking good. So loving how this thing is coming out. Here's the opposite side. So good. So, we'll go ahead and put this thing back on the ground. Got to get the drive shafts in front or back front. Get my brake lines, parking brake cables hooked back up. And then it'll be ready to rock. I'm loving how this thing is turning out so far. So freaking stoked. Hopefully you guys are enjoying all of the content on Dusty. If you like everything so far, let me know, guys, because I'm having an absolute blast building this truck and documenting all of it for you guys. I hope that it is been one, entertaining so far, and two, helpful if maybe you're considering doing some things to your OBS trucks. Again, this is all just meant to be sort of inspiration to let you guys pull ideas from. You know, you might not build it exactly like this, but at least you can see what I'm doing and have your own build inspirations and, you know, pick and choose things that you like and don't like, whatever. But I'm so stoked with how this is turning out. So that's going to be the end of this video. Hopefully you guys enjoy it. If you like the video, like the video. If you are new to the channel, subscribe, because now we've got steering done, front suspension done, rear suspension done. Next thing we're gonna do is I'm gonna go out and drive the truck. We're gonna go rip it around as it sits. And then if you look down here, roll cage, bumpers, fuel tank skid plates, and then we get into some fun stuff. We're gonna go long travel with it. And then we're gonna do a Willwood big brake kit from Desolate Motorsports as well. And then we're gonna go rip it around again to kind of get a comparison between this total build and then long travel build. And then, you know, coming in the next year, I'm going to pull the rear end out. We're going to do a spec Curry from Desolate. And then, you know, around May of next year, I'm going to go ahead and repaint the body. So, yeah, build series on Dusty, the Ultimate Adventure OBS. So far, so good. See you in the next one, guys. Boom.